Hello, I will show you how to make two intersecting cylinders in a very nice way. Uh, so shout out to Ian McGlashams for the method. I will link his video down below so you can see, because I'm using this method here. It's a very elegant method and versatile. Functional model is gonna be created. So we're gonna add a cylinder. Make sure that it's square. With the shift key, pull it out. Now we're gonna make sure that it's in the center by going to the items up here, going 0, 0 on the X and Y coordinates. We're going to set the origin to the volume of the object so that when we turn this, we turn it about the middle, because now we're going to duplicate this object. We're going to duplicate this object, and let's do it right here. Right click anywhere now, it's gonna follow the mouse, but right click anywhere to make it in the same position. Now it's selected here, 001 cylinder. We're going to turn it 90 degrees. Oh, that's the wrong one. We're going to turn it 90 degrees on the Z axis, like so. Let's just type 90. We're also going to offset this a little bit to see what we're doing, like so. Now we're going to go into edit mode, because we're going to need to cut this with the loop cut. So we want to make the loops in the middle here. It's gonna need to line up with the segments of the other. It doesn't really need to, but it's nice if it does line up like that. That's just the middle, an easy click. We're gonna put on snipping, the snapping, and we're gonna click and drag to make it go right here. It doesn't really want to line up. Let's just put it right here, and let's do the other side as well. We're going to assign a group to these two, so you can go into selection again, alt click on the vertices, click Control and G for grouping, and the same thing for the other one, Control and G, group. We can look here now, we have two vertex groups if we look at the data here. That's good. Now we can go out of object mode and turn this around to the other side. The other object is here. This is our first cylinder. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to edit mode and do a loop cut in the middle. A loop cut here. We can go ahead and group it. Now do another loop cut here and go ahead and group it now, like so. Go to object mode, and we're going to put on a wireframe up here so we can see our wireframe. It's an important step. Now we're going to put on a modifier, so we're gonna go in the sidebar here, go to modifiers, and we're gonna add the shrink wrap modifier. So we can just go to search, type SR and SH shrink wrap here, Then we're going to change this shrink wrap to project. We're going to change it to the Z axis. We're going to target with the eyedropper on the other objects. Then we're going to change the vertex group because now it's choosing every vertex here to go around. That's not good. We're going to target the first group we made right there. Now this group is going up and trying to go around. We're gonna add an offset minus 0.1. We're gonna add another shrink wrap modifier. It's gonna also be a project, also be said. And we're gonna choose the other object. And we're gonna choose the second group. Now I can see that this group is also trying to go up, so we need to turn off positive and put on negative. And the same offset here, minus 0.1, minus 0.1. Alright, so now we have these two going around. We're gonna do the same thing for the other objects. We're gonna add a modifier. You can see, check again. We have these two groups still. And these are the two groups. And that, yeah, they have the same name, but it's another object here. So we're gonna add the modifiers to this object. The shrink wrap one. Project. This is also going to be Z. Choose the other object. Now it's trying to go this way. We're gonna choose first group because it's what's on this side. Gonna add the same offset minus 0.1. And we're gonna add another one. Shrink wrap. Project. Z. And yeah, we're gonna have this one as the negative side. Target other objects. And choose the other group. And of course the offset minus 0.1. Alright. Now both our objects has these yeah, I think we have a little problem here. We have a little problem, but let's see what happens when we do this. On this object, we're gonna need to apply the transformations. Okay, that works. Because why we needed to have on this wireframe here is because if we go into this object and we go into the edit mode, we can see that this the actual vertices is still going inside here. And if we turn off the wireframe, we cannot see the changes being made here. So we need the wireframe on. It's still having this here, but it's because we haven't yet applied the shrink wrap. So we're gonna apply the shrink wrap. But we have to be in object mode. Here, apply the shrink wrap, apply the shrink wrap. Okay, now we can see that we have these nice geometry. So what we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna have to make this object into one object. Going to select and join. these are now one object. We can remove the faces. Let's go into select object, edit, select faces. Or faces here, delete only faces. Here, delete only faces. Here, delete only faces. You can go right click as well, delete faces. But I don't like to use delete faces. I like to, because it says delete vertices, edges, or faces, delete faces. I like to use delete button. So I select go to the delete button because there's 2 delete faces here, and this delete faces sometimes it doesn't work well. So only faces, please. Now you can see this object here. You can go on vertices, so you can see all of the vertices are in this object. But we need to delete these faces that are inside here. All of the faces that are not having a straight edge. So these have this curve around, right? So we're going to go to select faces. Select as many as we can comfortably. And now we can delete these faces. You see they deleted also the vertices and the edges. We go to the vertices here, they're gone. If we go and delete the only faces, we can see here that there's actually still some edges and vertices here. That's why sometimes I use delete only faces, but this time we can use delete faces. Select these as well, delete, delete, select these. We're going to delete, and these 2 delete. And also we have these down here that needs to be deleted. So that's these 2. Delete, and those. Delete, and these. Delete, delete. These up here. This as well. Almost done. Make sure you don't delete the wrong things here. And these 2 delete. Now we're here, so we're going to not delete these squares right here. We're just going to go delete right here. Essentially right now we have two loops intersecting, and what we can do then is of course bridge the edge loops. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to select, we're gonna select this loop, and we're gonna select shift and select with alt click, where you need to alt click here, and shift and alt click again. Now we have selected these 2 loops. We can go into this one here. We can see clearly there's 2 loops right here. And what we're gonna do is we're going to go into the edge here, up here, and bridge these edge loops right here, like so. And now what we have, we can turn on the wire frames. Oh, we're in edit mode. We go into object mode, we can see we have these two intersecting objects right here. Alright, so now that we have this object, we can make it look a little better by adding a subdivision surface to this. It's in the modifiers here tab. You need to select the item, go in the modifiers tab, and the subdivision surface. You can see that it's a little bit better right here, but we can go to 2 and even 3. Now that's even looking kind of nice, but it's kind of mushy, right? It's still kind of mushy, this. So what we can do to increase or improve this sharpness of these two objects is we're gonna go into the object here and go to loop cut again, and we're gonna need to add a loop cut around the edges. It's a little bit difficult to see right now. If we were to disable this, we could see it, but let's just put it right here. We can see it. There you can see that it went a little better. It's a little bit sharper now that we added this loop cut around this. But we're gonna change this to linear, and we're going to increase the smoothness. There we go. So now it's very much more sharper. If we add more loop cuts here as well, it's gonna get sharper. So depending on how we do this, more cuts is gonna make this a lot nicer, right? And we can also change different factors here, but not an actual factor, but we can increase here the levels of the subdivision, and we can also play with the loop cuts, number of loop cuts, and the smoothness of the cut here. But yeah, essentially at this point I'm gonna put it like that, make it tight, two loop cuts and maximum smoothness. Go out of edit mode, go back to object mode. Now it's a tight, nice looking object. And as well, let's add some materials on here. Put on some nice material here. As you can see, everything looks nice. Put another material. What is this? Ceramic. Looks good. And this is really, this is how it's done. So from here, of course, you can do a lot of things with this, but because this is has a nice wireframe, then it's flexible. So something that Ian McGlashams showed, for example, is that you can add some more modifiers in here. For example, you can add an array. And you can, add, I haven't actually used array that much, but yeah, you can make this array right here. And also you can do a deform. As you can see, these objects, they deform kind of nicely. Now it looks a little bit strange, but they deform nicely. Whoa. Okay. Well, as you can see, this is something. Anyways, that's how you intersect two cylinders. Have a nice one. Goodbye. And you can also visit my website down in the description, hserve.com. And you can also see at Ian McGlashams video. Goodbye.